Hey everyone, this is DMC. I wanted to take you through some of the workflow that I'm currently doing for Noob Dribble. Part of making workflow so easy required quite a bit of work at the beginning to set everything up. One of those things that I've done is I've created a road segment, and you can see here in the Blender 3D viewport that the ends of this road segment are hollow. I've done that so I can repeat this road segment over and over again. One other thing that I've done to this road segment is I've set up the UV layout. UV layout is basically the texturing of this object. We can see here over in the right viewport the UV layout as it is. And then if we add a texture to it, you can see how it aligns up to the texture. If I were to move one of these islands, you can see how it adjusts the texture on the object itself. Okay, since I have that road segment set up, we can get to the fun stuff. So one of the first things I do with any level, or starting any level rather, is I add a couple modifiers to this object. The first one is an array modifier, which duplicates the object outward, and I can increase the amount of duplications by just going over here to this right panel, increasing the count. The other modifier I add is called a curve modifier. What that will do is that will make this object follow a curve, and then I could set up the curve to any shape I want, and this road will follow that curve. I've got some other levels already created here that are currently on the workshop that you guys may have played. This is level 1. This one was very easy to make, of course. Then level 2, and then level 3, level 4, 5, and then I've created a couple more levels that you haven't seen yet. So level 6 is just going to be an uphill road, which introduces the Z axis to the map. We levels 1 through 5 are completely flat. Level 6 will be the first level that includes a road that goes upward, which should be interesting. I've never played anything like that in Rocket League, where you're actually pushing a ball up a slope. So that's gonna be very interesting to see how people do with the mechanics of that. Level 7 introduces the downward slope. This is going to be interesting as well, seeing how people control the ball going down these slopes. As you can see in level 7, it's a straight line. We haven't introduced the X or Y axis, so in other words, there's no curves to this level. In level 8, we are going to be introducing not only the up and down control of the ball, but also the left and right control. Okay, so we're going to move on to level 8 here. Okay, the next thing I want to do rather is I want to add a curve. And we're going to select the NURBS curve. I'm going to go into edit mode. And the start of this curve, I like to create a straight line. I like the start of every level to be a straight line. I don't want the player to have to start the level off by hitting the ball at an angle. Like just a nice, easy start. And I don't want the ball on a slope or anything to where when the ball spawns, it starts rolling immediately and the player has to chase it. I like the idea of the player being in control from the start of each level. Right now we're looking at the curve from a top-down view. I just want to get this straightened out. Okay, I have not drawn this out. This is all in my head, the design of level 8. And what I think I want to do is I want an immediate upward slope. So I am going to grab this last vertex. I'm going to change the view to a side view. Then we're going to move this up. Something like that. 45. I don't want a 45-degree angle is a bit steep. I've already play tested level 6, and this is about, I would say, 35-degree slope or so, and that felt about right. So I'm gonna stick with that one for now. About a 35-degree slope. Okay, we've got our slope established. Now what I want to do is I want to create a curve here. I'm going to go to the top-down view. I'm going to extrude along the x-axis. Then I'm going to extrude again along the y-axis. Okay. Now let's go over to the side view. Now what I want to do is I want to go up another slope. So we're going to extrude along the z-axis. And then let's get that position to where it's about a 35-degree angle again. Something like that. Okay, you're kind of seeing how the curve is taking shape here and how it's going to look. So we did a right angled turn there. We're going to do a left angled turn here. Let's go into the side view, or the right perspective view. We're going to extrude along the y-axis. Then let's go to the front perspective view. And then we're going to extrude along the x-axis. And then let's do one more slope. We'll extrude along the z-axis. Then we'll make this approximately a 35-degree angle. With this level, I want to keep the slopes uniform because it is one of the first levels that's introducing the z-axis, and I want to keep the difficulty progression relatively smooth. Later on levels, we could definitely tinker with changing slopes and making them more difficult. Okay, I'm just creating a flat spot up here on top. This will likely be the finish. I like to start and end the levels with a flat slope. Or no slope, rather. Okay, that kind of resembles what I was thinking in my mind. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make this road follow that path. We'll get a better idea of what this will look like. And so to do that, down here in the curve modifier, I will select that curve, and that's called NURBS curve 004. So I'll go ahead and select that. You can see the road immediately conforming to the curve. Okay, let's go ahead and add some more road segments and see how this thing follows this curve. So I can immediately see that angled curve is too sharp, as you can see what it does to the road here. We can adjust that later on. Let's go ahead and continue on with our segment count. There is some concern concerning the polygon count of this map, in the sense of how it's going to affect lower tier GPUs. There are some things I can do inside UDK to mitigate that, and that might be something I'll have to explore later on. If any of you has a lower tiered GPU, please send me a message on Discord so we can see how your frame rates are in Rocket League and see if there's something I could do to help mitigate the tax it does on the GPU. So yeah, this is looking like the general shape that I want for this level. These slopes might not be extreme enough, actually, now that I'm looking at it. But we'll see. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to try and fix these angles here. And I'm going to do that by modifying this curve. So if we take, this is the flat section right here, these three vertices, this is the flat section. So what I think I want to do is I want to subdivide these. Subdividing means I'm just adding another vertex in the middle. And then to make that less of a curve, maybe I can take this and move that. Create more of a rounded curve there. And you can see there is a bit of blur there. It looks a lot better than this one though. Let me go ahead and do the same here. I'm pretty new to working with these NURBS curves in in Blender rather. So please forgive my incompetency. Something like that. That's not bad. Am I telling myself that, or is it actually not bad? Okay. Let me see if there's something else I can do to help mitigate this a little bit. That's making it look a little weird. I think that I just need to make the radius of this a little bit bigger. Yeah, I don't think that's too bad. There we go. That's working right there. Ooh, that looks good. Cool. I know some people proficient in Blender are screaming right now. Something I'm doing wrong. But you know, I'm a novice, so whatever. Okay, I like it. We're ultimately we're only gonna know until we try it. We're not gonna know until we try it rather. I want to make this starting area a little bit more flat, or create a longer flat section here. Something like that. This is gonna be a fun level. I can tell already. Okay, so let's go ahead and extend the road a little bit further, so it makes it up there to the top. Do that by increasing the array count, or array by increasing the array count. Sorry. Okay. As you can see at the end and start of this road, it's hollow there. And so we're going to add something called an end cap and a start cap. And this is a separate object that I've made. If we come over here, you can see this is the road segment, and then this is the start and end cap. And I've added an extra bar to the end and created some texture for the end cap face. Okay, going back to the current level. Let's go ahead and select that object, and we're going to add a start and end cap here. So you can see at the start here it added the start cap. And then for the end, there we go. And I made this cool texture underneath. I kind of like it. It's kind of a polka dot teal. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like a snake. It looks like a rattlesnake texture. And I don't like snakes. I'm so afraid of snakes. But I just like this texture to it. Anyway, nobody's really going to see that very much. But I didn't want to leave it black, you know. Was that kind of stupid? Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it. So let's go ahead and select this object. Then I'm going to rename it to level 8. No, level 8 DMC, not label 8. Okay, I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to rename the copy to UCX underscore level 8. What that copy does is that creates a custom collision component for UDK. So I'm going to save this Blender file. I'm going to select those two objects. I'm going to export them. And we are just going to export the selected objects. We're going to call them level 8, of course. Export. Okay, work in Blender is done for this level. For now, at least. We're going to play test it and see if it fits in the difficulty progression of the level 8 slot. If it does not, then we will come back and adjust it, or we can save it for a later level. Okay, opening up UDK here. I'm going to import level 8 into my package. Everything looks good. Okay, now we're going to select level 8 here. As you can see, currently it doesn't have any texture to it. It's just using the default UDK texture. So we're going to add that to it. And I've got the texture imported here in UDK. It also has a normal map included in it. And what a normal map does is it creates the illusion that a texture is three-dimensional when it's actually not. Okay, I have that selected. And we just go ahead and add it. I'm going to adjust a few settings there. Okie dokie. So I have 2 levels here that I need to add to the scene. I've got level 6 that I've added already. Then let's go ahead and add level 7 and level 8. So first thing I want to do is I've created a little tool here that helps me align these levels on the z-axis. I'm going to drag that up. Let me zoom in on the end of level 6 here. Zoom in even further. Let's go to change the grid scale here. Yep, something like that. Okay, so now in the 3D viewport you can see that we're just seeing the top of level 6. The rest of the levels are down there. Okay. Let's go ahead and zoom out. There's our level 6. Okay, let's go ahead and grab level 7 and toss it in. And I think I'm going to have level 7 come back towards the start. Something like that. Okay, level 7 looks like it slightly disappears under that plane, but that's okay. That plane's not viewable in the game itself. Okay, I need to adjust a couple options for this to make sure that the car collides with it properly. Then lastly, for the options, I'm going to add a sticky material to it so the car sticks to this mesh properly. It's the same material used in the walls inside Rocket League. Okay, that's good to go. Let's go ahead and add level 8. So we'll go back in here to our content browser, grab level 8, and figure out where level 7 stops, somewhere right around there. Okay, we'll drag it into the scene. Level 8's going to end at an even higher elevation, so we are going to start climbing into the air. Let's see which direction this is going. I'm working in the top-down view here. I kind of want to get them lined up. I want to create kind of a sense of continuity throughout the level, meaning that I want people to be able to see where the following levels are going to be, rather than just have them haphazardly located throughout the map. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, I'm going to adjust a couple settings with level 8, just like I did with level 7. Go ahead and add that sticky material to this mesh. Okay. Now let's go ahead and adjust 3 other settings. Okay, level 8 should be good to drive on now. I'm going to hide this big plane here. Okay, let's go ahead and copy these flag posts to the 2 new levels. I'm going to center the existing flag post on my screen. And we'll go ahead and select it and copy. And then working in the top-down viewport, go ahead and copy it to the end of level 7. And I like it towards the end there, so that way if the player misses it, their ball falls off the end and they have to restart the level. I want to make sure that it's aligned to the floor of this mesh. We can take a look here, and it is. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and copy it one more time. We'll add it to level 8. Somewhere right there. Then obviously we're going to need to lift it up. Somewhere right there is close. I'm going to center that on all my viewports. We'll get a... Oh, look at that. Lines up perfect. That's easy. Okay. Now we just got to get the starting path nodes for each of those 2 levels going. So we've got 2 path nodes here. This is the car path node, and then we've got the ball path node. That shows the game where to teleport the player and the ball. Okay, so just like I did with the flag post, I've selected them, and now I'm going to copy and paste them. Let's go ahead and rotate this. I want them facing the level. And they make the player face that direction as well, so that's important. Okay, I think I'm going to have to lift them up a little bit. Trying to do this fast so the video isn't too long. Okay, those seem like they're about in the middle. I'm going to copy them, and then we're going to paste, and then drag them over to level 8. Somewhere right about there is pretty close. Yeah, that seems like it's in the middle. Don't want them up too high. And then these look like they're about perfect as well. Okay, now that we've got the start and ends for each of these levels 7 and 8 done, we just need to input this into the coding a little bit here. I'm going to open up, well, first of all, I'm going to select the car starting path node. I'm going to open up Kismet. This is the coding feature of Unreal Development Kit. And I've done most of the code for the map. So all I really need to do now is just plug in these variables or these path nodes, which is really nice. It makes the rest of the workflow very fun. Okay, so the car start path node is going to get plugged in here. And then we're going to grab this other path node, plug it in over here for the ball. Okay, now let's go grab level 8's path nodes. That's going to be the car start path node. Plug it in. Then there's the ball start path node. Okay, now that we've got those plugged in, let's go ahead to a different section of code. Let me see where I left off here. Okay, I'm going to need to input these flagpole trigger volumes in real quick. So this will be the level 6 flag post. And what we want to do is we want to make this react to a ball touch. So we change the proximity type to ball instead of player. And we want to change the trigger count to 0, meaning unlimited. And then we want to decheck player only. Okay, let's go do the same for level 7 and 8. Okay, we've got level 7 and 8 here. I could select them both and I believe edit both of them at the same time. Okay, we've changed it to ball, unlimited trigger counts, and then deselect player only. Just to confirm that it edited both, it did. Okay, let's go ahead and plug in the instigator into the ball variable. Let's go ahead and separate these a little bit to allow for some of the code to fit in there so it looks nice and organized. And then we just go ahead and copy, paste, paste, and then paste. Let's plug these trigger values in to the code here. Okay, now we just need to change some variables in here. Change that to level 6. What this mechanism right here does is it prevents people from skipping ahead or bypassing a level. If you do bypass a level, I have a little message that pops up that says, "Cheater! Is my map too easy for you?" There might be a function in this map where I allow people to select a certain game mode where they can try to go all the way to the end. And if that were the case, I would be bypassing this function. Okay, back to changing some of these variables. This is kind of the boring part. Okay, I'm going to change this car start path node to level 7. And then for the ball as well. 7. Okay. And then this one's going to be for level 8. It's kind of confusing here. This says level 7 here, and then this says level 8. What this means is this is checking to confirm that you're on level 7, and this is where the car is going to get teleported to. So this is the transition phase between level 7 going to level 8. Let me adjust that. Okay. And so this is teleporting to level 9 from level 8. Level 9 does not exist. So as it stands right now, if you complete this, your car will disappear. What I am going to do, though, as I update this map, I'm going to unplug this transition. What I'm going to do with this trigger volume here is I'm going to drag it all the way across the map here, and I'm going to plug it into the stop timer function. So that way, as I update the map, you guys can speed run this map and get an idea of the time at the end. But I plan on making a couple more jumps here in a minute. Okay, everything looks good. So I'm going to save this UDK. And I'm also going to create another copy. And I'm going to replace labs underscore underpass underscore P to play test it. So at any given time, I have two copies of this in case something were to happen. I'm going to open up Rocket League. I've adjusted the resolution to where it should record properly. I've also created a shortcut to play test the later levels. And that shortcut should be activated once I complete the first level. I can't see the other levels. It looks like they're on the outside of the skybox, which is something I will have to adjust. Yeah, so it does go in and out of the skybox. Oh well. Let's see what this is like. I playtested this level 6 once before, and the difficulty progression felt nice. As long as you don't lose control of the ball, then you're screwed. Watch, when this ball starts rolling back down, I don't think you can recover it. Or at least you'd have to be really skilled to do it. Alright, get out of here, ball. Nobody likes you anyway. I would like to see a video of some of you guys trying to recover this ball on the slope. That'd be interesting. I'm not good enough to do it. I suck at dribbling. Anyway, we're outside of the skybox now. Okay, I'm really curious to see how level 7 and level 8 play. This should be really fun. This is my first time doing this right now. Okay, so the slope's easy, of course. It's a little bumpy. I could add more segments to this. I probably will. It's not as smooth as I had hoped. Okay, Okay, so controlling it downward is not too bad. Alright, this one should be interesting. Still a little bumpy. I might elongate. I might end up elongating these levels to make it less bumpy. Yeah, so first impression is it's really easy. And I can't honestly say that it's more difficult than level 5. Level 5 is this curvy one over here. So that's something to think about. So my takeaway from the playtest is, 1, I need to elongate this path so it's not as bumpy. You can't really tell the bumpiness with the car itself. They're kind of right there. You can see the car going over the ridges. But it definitely is apparent on the ball. So I'm going to elongate these. I might even make them steeper because they don't seem that much more difficult than level 5. or level 6 for that matter. Okay, guys, well, this is pretty much how I'm making this map. Just kind of give you some inside information, and thanks for watching.